Pretty much every single person at one point or another has decided they wanted to lose weight. Once that decision's been made, one of three things usually happens. Tell me if these sound familiar. Person 1, they never even get started. This person probably decided they wanted to lose weight sometime late at night at the same time they decided they were going to exercise 7 days a week and finally start that business they've been dreaming of. It's not that they don't want to do it, they just don't have any idea how to start, and after sleeping on it, talk themselves out of even trying. Number 2, they begin a weight loss journey and are extremely strict for the first few weeks or even months. They buy a healthy grocery list and use the praise they get from others and the results they're getting as motivation to keep going. That is, until their motivation gets low, they eat out one night and then never get back to their diet ever again. And person number 3, the one that we all want to be but few are. This person starts a weight loss program, sees steady results, and gets addicted to that feeling of self-betterment. Unfortunately, they say that 95% of all diets fail, and while we have no way of knowing the real number, we do know that it's an extremely high percentage. So what can we do to help get ourselves from person 1 or person 2 and be one of the ones that comes out on the right side of our weight goals? So to come up with a solution, we need to ask ourselves, what are the key components to successful weight loss? These ideally are going to be things that, when included in a plan, are going to help you hit your goals easier and faster, and if excluded from a plan, might make it near impossible to hit them at all. So let's break those things down. To start off, number 1 is a calorie deficit. Any attempt at fat loss that doesn't get you into a calorie deficit is dead on arrival. We know from the laws of thermodynamics that energy can't be created or destroyed, and that any energy that isn't put to use by the body has to be stored. The reverse of this process, breaking down fat to create a net fat loss, can then only occur while the body is in a calorie deficit, creating a reliance on that energy stored in the fat in order to continue functioning. While some diets can show weight loss without being in a calorie deficit, that's not necessarily the same as fat loss, which is the primary goal for most people. Low-carb diets and diets that exclude carbohydrates altogether are famous for the fast weight loss that occurs, making people think it's working, when in reality, reducing carb intake will reduce glycogen levels, which will then in turn make you retain less water. Number 2 is enjoyable foods. Nobody, and I do mean nobody, wants to be on a diet that makes them hate food, and you shouldn't be. Some diets do a really good job of leaving plenty of variety available to choose from, and some other diets do things like make you eat chicken and rice for every meal. And I mean, while that could work in theory, it's also very unsustainable for most people. Now, the reverse of this can also be true. Ketogenic diets, for example, allow for high-fat foods that taste really good with the promise that ketosis will break down fat for you. Now, unfortunately, fatty foods like bacon and cheese tend to be extremely high-calorie and can easily remove you from a calorie deficit if you aren't careful. Successful eating habits will be those that will allow you a variety of low-calorie foods that you enjoy eating. Number 3, physical activity. While this step isn't necessarily a requirement of successful weight loss, it makes it significantly easier. So we burn calories in 3 ways. Those are your basal metabolic rate, which is just the calories our bodies burn by keeping ourselves alive, digestion of food, and physical activity. Now, most of our calorie burn comes from that basal metabolic rate, but exercise can be a really good way to increase your calorie burn. So when thinking about weight loss, always think calories in versus calories out. You can control the number of calories we're taking in with our diet, but you can also manipulate the other side of the equation with more activity. No, I'm definitely not saying you need to do hours of cardio. I mean, cardio is good for you, and you can burn an insane amount of calories that way. But any physical activity that you enjoy will help, and enjoyment of the activity is very important because it'll keep you doing it in the long run. Number 4, track your progress and set goals. This is very different for everybody, but something like weighing yourself every day at the same time and taking your weekly average can help you to see the progress you're making from day to day or from week to week. You can also take measurements every week or every month and see the specific changes that are happening and where, and take progress photos. Just document your success. Seeing progress is an important part of staying motivated, and in a weight loss journey that's a long-term commitment, being able to celebrate small victories can go a long way. And our last key to success, number 5, is determination. The truth is, there's nothing that I or anybody can say that's going to make weight loss easy. It's just not an easy thing to do. And even if you're doing all of the right things and following all of the right steps, there are going to be times when you're going to want to quit, and there are going to be times when you're going to question whether or not it's worth it. The key is not to give up on long-term goals to make yourself happy for a small moment in the short term. So get a good support system in place that'll keep you honest about what exactly it is that you want. And if you do go over your calories or eat fast food or skip the gym once or twice, then just know that that is okay. You're in it for long-term health and fitness goals, and messing up from your plan one time isn't going to undo all the progress you've made. Do not quit on yourself. So to tie all this information together, it is impossible to succeed without a good plan. Don't just wing it and hope for the best. Create meal ideas, figure out calorie goals, create a good support system, and the entire time, keep these 5 keys to success in mind. If you can do that, you will hit your goals in no time. But that's going to do it for today. So if you like my video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, and hit that bell notification so you get my videos as soon as they come out. Thanks!